Hello, this is James Loves with Rise Star Church, evening the world out in love. What we're talking about is inverting back the boundary. So that's a lot of stuff that I've pretty much already gone over. The last couple lessons, sexual foundation, the political thievery, the offering business, says doing their correlating in the meantime as we're inverting this boundary, getting to the real parts of it, if that's what you came for in the first place and such. And of course, it's regarding the children and such. It's with after this is all concluded and we did the things. The couple main ones that I want to talk about that I've already gone over with the organizational lustful shuffle. What I'm talking about with the with the lustful shuffle, we are basically designating in a community with sociology, management, gambling, which ones are best at keeping the chaste. Which ones are best at determining the rise star aspect, and instead of making them go more into faux fourness, being light and sheet, making them light and sheets in the process, getting them around a well, a public relational well of Rise Star Church for equality, loving, and the separation of those in the veil and outside the veil in that aspect. And this other aspect of, as I say, in this process, we're going to find out that the organizations that are pretty much in charge of these children were the ones that were giving the most charges, using them as weapons. They were the ones being most hypocritical and having their haremized weapons in elite group, which was making the boundary exactly what I said, completely opposite, even in natural processes of growth of us as human beings from younger age to older age, in a process of, oh, go ahead, you were a good little liar and you cheated behind those people, you can go on in type of process. We're going to be doing away with all that. And in this process, it's really going to make it very clear what I talk about as an open relationship that's needed besides just together with a person or totally not with anybody, single or together. Kind of like an in-between. Dipping process is allowed as well and such, especially regarding the children, which is going to do away also with the schisms in our society outside of the well. No cheating really going on with that inverting of the boundary away from the lying cheat part. So, and really I base it on two things basically, and we follow it. Or you could follow the knowledge in this process, and you're going to come to understand exactly what I'm talking about. With that organizational lustful shuffle, with that, them offering for the wrong reasons around Rise Star Church. Third party is making sure, according to the sexual foundation anywhere outside of Rise Star Church, that it's going to only happen at the well around Rise Star Church for the public. In that process, and us with the education, third party, to the fucking education, whether it be the medical format of allowing those in need of any age, obviously focus more on underage, or in the married aspect, and that maybe even including with some of the details of how the adoption went for one that was placed in proper placement for a loving family, but still having the aspect of learning separation between, okay, here's my husband, but here is my family, and they're maybe too young, so it's more like a time with this parent, time with that parent, like a divorce deal aspect. With that aspect, we're gonna, like I said, the system was all lies, manipulations, haremizing, weaponizing, making a elite type deal. Well, it's going to a public aspect. When we are forcing this separation, okay, no, we're paying attention now. And the best at the chastity, not cheating, and getting them around a well, obviously they're the best to hold any issues that or early Rise Star come around in society. And those that would come with not proper foundation building, getting them over the faux for this aspect, weaponizing, haremizing stuff, well, at the well, which is where they have to bring them for that sort of thing, if it is if they're manipulated by games, perceptions, then obviously with the education, faux fortis, the things that the well does, making sure that the third party has that freedom till the queen, and it opens up even more, that the freedom to, hey, you're in green, you're here for the offering, this is the real reason. It's for chastity up to a point of your foundation and your decision, and here's the education. You're getting too much into an age, or you were already prematurely in a time that you need to understand it's about love. You can't divide it, and we're not separating people except on basis of being a lying cheat about things. So that we're taking that game manipulating thing that I've talked about in many ways, the haremizing, the weaponizing as foe, and they're just going to be chaste. And this is going to make a simplistic, and you'll see after we get over in this process, you're going to see how it's natural. Because here is a child, and they're God's ordained, fresh arcs, not conformed to the world. They don't know anything, but kind of like the love. They just know love. They just flow with everything. Even if it's not love sometimes. They're just flowing with it. But then they, coming to Rise Star age, they start realizing fleshly bondages and things, and they start just playing around with stuff. right? And it's like, wow, I can tell a little fib, tell a little lie to get what I want. I can manipulate this thing to have these people with me and those not, and different stuff like that. And then that's where, in the natural rise star aspect of things, we're getting them into spy format, teaching them all those things. But in the leading truth to get them out of that, to not be manipulated by it, but definitely not use it, because if they use it, they can't come in. There's no activity for you. And so this natural process will happen. And then, basically, plain and simple, it's going to be very clear with those working with the chastity, those with the groups. They're already married. They don't have to work with that sort of thing. Or maybe they're in a somewhat even as a job that people are realizing nowadays. That they're in a imprisoned format because of their problems, their judgment issues, their faux issues. Thus, they are working with those that are also chaste because they're acting chaste. They're not truthful, not 100% loving. And thus, though, that catch-up's going to happen anyway with those third party and those that they're with, and they are. And it is around the well when they're dealing with those that are being offered. Especially if the offering really happens in front of hello, you're way old. You've been in the old world mentality. Time for you to quit judging around and such. So this and the cheating aspect is just going to go. I try to stay in other formats, but in this format, what we're going to do is, well, obviously, natural love is just such a beautiful thing. And, it's the beautiful couple, so naive type of thing. And it's just the same way with some of these early rise star children. It's so beautiful, and you don't even know that they were conformed, and they're kind of going along to a little tricky trick. That's just kind of manipulating, controlling tool type thing. But any which way, their love is genuine. And in that aspect, it's gonna, in a way, if you could see it, it's kind of reversing the scenario. It's reversing these are, well, for whatever reason, are in the veil. Very genuine loving. But we're very meticulous on the 100% truth, and how they act with children with other children that are outside of the veil, they're just kind of leading with the same spy type game for their learned perceptive understanding until they come naturally to the rise star moment. And so in this aspect, it's going to kind of really convert the things, because with a backwards boundary and how our society has been conditioned, when they got to that spy moment, it was kept that way because of a suffering business and a haremizing, the eliteness positioning people, and they were trying to keep that suffering business and the haremizing stuff of all ages. It's almost like there wasn't even a foundation of a rise star. It was just if you knew or didn't know type of thing. And so what we had was all these older women and ladies, and which is why the schisms of cheating went on in society, and people not honest, like, hey, Anyway, I'll get to that in a second. But then what it was just these older ones that kind of went along with the push in how it was in the haremized format of no word and that such. Uh, the the line sheet typeness that was going on, that was getting taught to the younger generation, kind of teaching them into that. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to invert it, and it's really going to start from the children, which is the most important. And obviously all the ladies in civilization, you know, it's already in the Holy Spirit of in society as, oh, you just want the younger woman type of thing. You know what I mean? And so in that aspect of things, it's really going to be the other way around. It's kind of like, here's these ones, they don't know as much, but where they're being trained according to their heart, their 100% love and truth, how it is they're the Ark of the Covenant, but, you know, now all the older ladies and stuff, they're going to be kind of following them, though, now, leading by example with the little ones, and it's going to really get all the fake lying cheat out of society. Well, there's always going to be little lying cheat going on, but they're pretty much going to be with the game reserve. They're going to be known, and they're just going to be cut off like the chastity thing, or they're going to come around a well, but we're going to find out. So they're going to have to really be on the outskirts of it for what they do, because plain and simple, if you're an open relationship, you can be honest with or find someone that is into an open relationship. There's plenty of other offerings that you can make, like you can pretend. There's lots of stuff you can do. I can get into all of that, but we're gonna concentrate on the first things first. That's for later, according to Webb. But any which way, that was kind of an overview, little insights. Future words of opening up defined revelation will come on that, but that's really how it's going to go. So, main concept, back to the thing, and I may put it in a hard format, but we're dealing with lying cheats and people that were in SPY way too long past 12 for a suffering business. So, plain and simple, we're just going to take all their kids away, and it's going to be of course, first things first in the legal formats of those children that are parentless, orphaned, already taken from a home, some format, and because there's this organization with the organizational lustful shuffle that is determined with the Catholic Justice Game Reserve and all the viewers as better at that no haremizing, no weaponizing past a 12 mark. With that not making them lying cheats at that 12 mark. It's the gradual leading truth to get them out of the faux forwardness, or knowing when to give them the information that there's a well. You have to go around a well, or funneling them to the well in the proper formats. And at the same token, the third party, you're doing the making sure nothing goes on outside of a well that's not supposed to. And with the offerings that are brought, obviously they have to bring them, they're going to be educated in the proper formats and give the offering if they are at that in that particular stage, and which will be marriages or the easiest adoption agency aspect of things around Rise Star Church. Great. So in this aspect, we're going to cut completely out of society those haramizing, weaponizing, lying cheats, and this will completely invert the boundary, and we will be able to thoroughly educate, and eventually, after a clean, authorized Rise Star business, direct more communication with the direct words with the actions to show you, sight and sound wise, and that it has only to do with 100% love, unconditional love, directed, and 100% truth to be in a well, which all the rest of society will follow and take out all the rest of in the edification of love. So God bless, do your job, have fun, spread love, and enjoy life. And best of all, where's the queen?